There used to be an elected body in every college and university of Pakistan till 1984. General Ziaul Haq, the third dictator of Pakistan, who imposed martial law in the country, was indisposed to the students' bodies, who were constantly reminding him of democracy. To silence these only voices of dissent, he banned students' politics and deprived the country of a century-old democratic remnant. It is interesting to know that elected students' union was inserted in the first university law legislated in 1882 by the then British colonial rule. Anyway, student union was restored for a brief period in 1989 when General Ziaul Haq had died and Benazir Bhutto was the Prime Minister. That was the last year when Pakistani students cast their votes to elect their representatives to the union. She was removed from the office and students' union went into oblivion again. Governments were formed, dissolved, appeared and vanished. But the reinstitution of students' union was never on their agenda. With the passage of time, the issue of unions disappeared from the national debate and several generations of students left colleges and universities without having been into union elections. It is only a few days ago when students all across the country raised their issues and demanded the government to undo the ban from campus politics. The voice of these students was so powerful that the Prime Minister Imran Khan did not take time to concede. In a tweet, he agreed to the demand and termed campus politics as nursery of leaders. Some are really happy on his announcement, but there are few in Pakistan who believe in it. The reason behind this ambiguity, even after the announcement of the Prime Minister, is the treatment meted out to those who rejuvenated the idea of elected students' bodies. All those prominent people who joined the rallies held on 29th of November have been booked in police cases. Under various sections of law, these people are charged with disruption of public order and obnoxious speeches. In a democratic society, such demonstration and speeches are routine. But in Pakistan, police may term the content of speeches as against the ideology of Pakistan or anti-state. In this case, the police also thought the speeches delivered in these rallies as opposed to the official narrative of the state on different issues. If police is registering cases against the speakers and peaceful demonstrators, nobody can be sure of the Prime Minister's will to re-establish the students' bodies. Another aspect of these demonstrations that irks the government is the color red, which shows the left leaning of the students demanding election of students' unions. In Lahore, Karachi and Islamabad, the protesters used red color, and to emphasize their ideology, they shouted slogans of the erstwhile communism. In the history of Pakistan, communist and socialist ideas could never take roots among masses. People with communist political approach were condemned by the state. They could never be able to command any public support and used to be regarded as fifth columnist. They were invariably blamed of being Soviet agents, and a few of them were linked to China. Since Soviet Union has ceased to exist and Deng Xiaoping negotiated China to market economy, the communists and socialists in Pakistan enfeebled. The red flag resurfaced only because in this part of the world, antonym to religiosity and fundamentalism is communism. Terminology of liberalism and moderation is so far strange to common intellect. Thus, the government agencies who are equally unaware of changes in ideological scene take these familiar voices of communism as the ones those of traitors. In reality, Pakistan is observing a disturbance against state-sponsored religiosity, a far-right philosophy which is not capable of answering modern questions. Therefore, the color red is not being used in traditional meaning but as an alarm of wide-scale protest against the traditional approaches of statecraft. The demand of restoration of students' union is the first indication of annoyance of a generation who is connected to a modern world but forced to live in an old regime. Students' unions of Pakistan have been the harbinger of changes in different times. Students played pivotal role in the movement of Pakistan. They kept the democratic character of nation even against the dictators. They listened to new ideas, supported new politicians, and they were never afraid of raising questions. On these grounds, General Ziaul Haq banned these organizations. Since then, it has become a political taboo. Every political party is afraid of new leadership that may emerge from these unions. In a society where politics is part of inheritance, big political families are the unseen obstacle in reliving the student's dream. Establishment, on the other hand, enjoys an unprecedented and unbridled authority in the country. Therefore, civil and military bureaucracies are the factors impeding restoration of students' bodies. Keeping the history and situation in Pakistan in view, it is quite refreshing to know that students are up for their rights. But getting those rights is a long, long story.